Hi BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to share with you guys the 30 books that I plan on reading in 2016. These are all of the sequels or endings to a series, so basically the follow-up books of 2016. There's a lot, like I said, 30, so let's get started. The very first one is Rain by Amanda Sun. This is the second book in the Paper Gods trilogy. It's a Japanese paranormal, ghosty series that takes place in Japan, and I absolutely love it. The next one is Curse of the Wendigo by Rick Yancey. This is the second book in the Monstrumologist series. I own all of them, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. I cannot wait. It's very good. Very classic gothic monster horror. The next book that I want to continue on with is called The Magician's Muse, and this is the sixth and final book in the Seer series by Linda Joy Singleton. I first got this book on my Kindle and then borrowed the rest of the books from the library. It is very good. It's about a girl who is a psychic, kind of. She has a person on the other side that helps her, and her grandma is psychic, and her grandma's sick, and so this is the final book, and I want to know if she finds the cure. She's been working very hard to get to it. The fourth book on my list is The Last Echo. This is the third book in the Body Finder series by Kimberly Derting. I stopped reading it after book 2 because I felt that the main character was losing her steam in the book, became very whiny, and I was losing interest. But I have a hard time actually not finishing anything, and so I will pick up the third book in 2016. The next book is The Rebel Angels, the second book in the Gemma Doyle trilogy. I read the first book, I want to say in 2013 maybe, or not 2013, 2014, and then I purchased the rest of the books. It's a historical fiction with a magical fantasy, like paranormal, ghosty aspect to it, set in England in, I don't know, so it's historical fiction. I don't know what time it takes place in, but I really liked the first one, and the second one was really hard to get into, and I put it down, but I want to pick it back up in 2016. The next book is Timepiece, and this is the second book in the Time Glass trilogy by, what is her name? Myra McIntyre, and this is a like time travel kind of series. I really liked the first one, which was Hourglass. Again, it is a historical fiction. The girl can see pasts, and her friend can see futures, and so they're going to bridge that gap by going in kind of like a time machine, but it's more like a portal. I really enjoyed the first one, picked up the second one from the library, but never read it and returned it, so I want to pick it back up again in 2016. The next one is Fire Study by Maria V. Schneider, and this is the third and final book in the Study trilogy. I know that there is a spinoff which I do want to get to, but this is the final one with Yelena and Valak, and I really enjoy their relationship. The second book was excellent. I don't know why I didn't pick up the third one. I did borrow it from the library, but then I never read it and returned it, so it's going to happen this year. Next book on the list is The Austere Academy by Lemony Snicket. I do own all 13 books in hardcover, and I want to continue on with The Unfortunate Events, so I will be picking this one up this year. It's very short. It's middle grade. I'm just lazy. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. Next book on the list, which is number 9, is Black Heart by Holly Black. This is the third and final book in the Curse Workers trilogy. I hated the second book. I think I gave it 2 stars in 2014. It took me 6 months to read. I just hate this book, this trilogy. I don't really like Holly Black's writing. I don't know why. But I'm going to finish the series because, again, I can't put a complete like opinion on something if I haven't finished it. And so maybe in the third one it'll get better, because the first one I liked. I gave it 3 stars. The second one 2. So maybe the third one will be 3 or 4 stars, and that would be really nice to find out, you know, what happens at the end. So yeah, I'll pick that one up this year. Next book is The Lair. This is the second book in the Farm trilogy by Emily McKay, and this is a YA vampire book. The vampires are very different in this story. They don't have fangs. They're like a biochemically made vampire, and it was really, really good, and I enjoyed the sisters in the first book, and I can't wait to finish, or not finish, but I can't wait to continue on in the sequel. All right, the next book is called Mania. This is the third and final book in the Night Walker trilogy by J.R. Johansson. I did enjoy the first 2 books. I'm starting to get burnt out with like dream walking. I thought it was a really cool concept, and I really enjoyed it in 2014 and 2015, but I'm kind of losing steam on it, and I am sad because I have a few more dream books that are on my shelves that I need to get to, but maybe this will spark another interest in more dream books. This is a book about a boy who can't sleep. He has insomnia, and the only way he can sleep is through looking at the last person before he goes to bed, and if that person doesn't dream, then he can actually sleep. Otherwise, he walks through their dreams. And yeah, there's a hierarchy in the dream world, which is very interesting, and that's why I enjoyed this series so much, so I can't wait to pick up the third one. The next book is Deadfall. This is the sequel to Blackbird by Anna Carey. It's just a duology. It's about a girl who finds herself on some train tracks and then has a feeling that someone's chasing after her, which they totally are, and there's a big cliffhanger at the end, and we don't really get much information in the first book, so hopefully in the second book it all comes together, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. The next book is called Storm Chaser. This is the second book in the Edge Chronicles trilogy. This book, or this series, is like 10 books in one, but there's 3 books, and then it like takes another, I don't know if it's the same character in the 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, and 9. But I do know that it's the Edge Chronicles and then Twig's story in 1, 2, and 3. So I did enjoy the first one. It's a middle grade about a boy who is a changeling, or maybe not a changeling. He was dropped off in front of some wood trolls, but he's actually not a wood troll, and they raised him, and then they tell him, you know, it's time to find your own family. Vamoose, and he has to go on an adventure. I really enjoyed this first book, and I can't wait to pick up the second one. The next book is called Gathering Deep, and this is the second book to the Sweet Unrest duology by Lisa Maxwell. This is a Southern Gothic tale about a girl who moves down to Louisiana, I believe, with her father and mother, and they are the caretakers of an old plantation. There's a lot of voodoo that takes place. She starts falling in love with a ghost. I really enjoyed the first book. It was the first book I read in 2015, and I can't wait to get to the sequel. The next book is called Unforgotten. Is it Unforgotten? Yes, the sequel to Unremembered, and it is by Jessica Brody. This one is about a girl who is found in the ocean after a plane crash, but she actually wasn't on the plane crash's roster. She doesn't know where she's from, but she kind of like goes with the flow and then finds out more information that she actually might be from the future. Very cool concept. The book was a little slow. I am looking forward to reading the second one though. The next book on my list is The Glass Magician by Charlie N. Holmberg. This is the sequel to The Paper Magician. There are 3 books, I believe, in this trilogy. This is the second one. The third one, I can't remember the name. Paper, glass, metal, maybe? I don't know. It's about a magicians that work with elements, and they go to a school to learn the element, and then they get a job as an element worker. So like I said, there's paper workers, glass workers, metal workers, stuff like that. I really enjoyed the first book. I got this from NetGalley, so I do need to finish reading it. So far, so good. And yeah, I want to get to it. The next book on my list is The Edge of Shadows. Yeah, The Edge of Shadows. This is the third and final book in the Whidbey Island trilogy by Elizabeth George. Now, I know you guys had just watched my top 15 books of 2015 that I enjoyed, and that in my top 5 books that I just despised was the sequel to this trilogy. I do want to finish it, and I've had 1 year in between each book, so I think I am prepared to read the third one now. I can't see it getting better, but again, I have this, you know, drive to finish everything I read, and so I'm going to pick up the third one so I can be done with the trilogy. The next one is The Silver Blade, and this is the sequel to the Red Necklace, which is the duology of the French Revolution, and this is by Sally Gardner. Like I said in my top 15 of 2015, Tom Hiddleston does not narrate this audiobook, so I will be borrowing the physical copy from the library. The next book is Persuasion, which is the sequel to Compulsion, and this, I believe, is going to be a trilogy. These books are written by Martina Boone, and this is a Southern Gothic tale about 3 different families that all have some kind of magical ability, and I did like the first one. Oh, I did write it down. Illusion comes out October 25th of 2016, and that is the third and final book in the trilogy. So I do want to get to Persuasion so I can read Illusion. It left off on a cliffhanger in the first one, so I'm interested in seeing what happens next. Number 20 is Sweet Reckoning. This is the third and final book to the Sweet trilogy by Wendy Higgins. This is about a bunch of kids that are the the children of the 7 deadly sins, and so I thought it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I know that the 4th one is out, but it's actually a companion novel. That one's called The Sweet Temptation, and it's Kai's story from before he met Anna all the way till the epilogue of Sweet Reckoning, and it's condensed so you're not getting all 3 books in like a trilogy with just him. It's all of his thoughts about the entire trilogy. And so, yeah, it sounds interesting. I liked Caden, or Kaiden. He was the kid of the god of lust, or the whatever it is, the sin lust. And so he and Anna were a pretty good couple. She is the kid of addiction, like drugs and alcohol. So yeah, the deadly sins. Loved the book. Very fast-paced. 5 stars for each one. It was a fun read. Next book, which is number 21, and that is the Clockwork, what is it? A Girl in the Clockwork Collar. This is the sequel to A Girl with the Steel Corset, which is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde retelling, and these books are written by Katie Cross, and they are part of the Steampunk Chronicles series. I think there might be 4 books in total. Next book on my list is Across a Star-Swept Sea. This is the sequel to For Darkness Shows the Stars by Diana Peterfrond. I really enjoyed the first book. It's a retelling of Persuasion by Jane Austen. I haven't read Persuasion, so I didn't see the similarities between the books, and I can't remember what the second one is supposed to be a retelling of, but it is a companion novel to the first book, and so I do want to pick it up at some point in time. 23rd book is The Infernals by John Connolly. This is the sequel to the Samuel Johnson trilogy, and the first one is called, what is it? The Gates. I don't think you can see that. The first one was pretty good. It's a middle grade about a boy who has to close hell because it opened up. His neighbors opened it, and now he has to figure out a way to close it. And I really enjoyed the first one. So this is the second one, and I can't wait to get to it. Number 24 is Map of Fate. This is the sequel to Conspiracy of Us, and it's about a girl who didn't know that she had descendants in a, what are they called? A secret society. Her mom has kept that secret, and she's supposed to be one of 12 main people in this secret society. Like they have, you know, chairs around a table, and she's supposed to be one of them. She is on the run. People are trying to kill her because they don't want her to have that spot. And yeah, very, very cool. The first book was lots of cat and mouse chases and like clues that she had to follow. And again, there was lots of nice battling. There's like a knife fight scene that was pretty scary, and I just really enjoyed it. It was a very fast-paced read. Right. Number 25 is Fall Sham. I will be receiving this book in the mail in a few, I want to say next week maybe, or 2 weeks from now. It's the second book in the Iramanger trilogy by Edward Carey. The first one being, where is it? Heap House. I read that this year, really enjoyed it, so I can't wait to get to the second one. Did I say YA? It's a YA story about a boy who lives behind like a trash heap, but it's like a, what are they called when you throw all your trash away? Like a junkyard. Or you drop your trash off at the, you guys know what I'm talking about. The garbage trucks come and they take your trash. A landfill. Damn it. So they live on the other side of a landfill, and Iramanger can hear the objects talking. Gosh, it was a very strange book, but I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get to the second one. Number 26 is Castle in the Air by Diana Wynne Jones. This is the companion sequel to Howl's Moving Castle. This is a trilogy, and I can't wait to pick it up. I love Diana's writing, and I'm sure this is going to be just as magical as the first one. 27 is Winter by Marissa Meyer. I don't own it yet. I don't even own Cress yet. I don't know what's wrong with me. I cannot wait to finish this series, which is the Lunar Chronicles. Gosh, Cress was like my absolute favorite out of the three, and I can't wait to read Winter. People have been raving about it. I love all of the relationships. It's just such an amazing book. So yes, can't wait to pick it up. Number 28 is The Magician's King, which is the sequel to The Magicians by Lev Grossman. This is an adult fantasy. Everybody says it's like the adult Harry Potter. Not really. It's very gloomy, and Quentin is such a, is it dour? Maybe? He's such an emo character. Very sad, depressed, hates everything, hates his life now, hates his life in the future, is never happy. But I did enjoy the writing. It was very hard to get through, if that makes sense. There's a lot of giant words. I had my dictionary out the entire time while I was reading this book. It kind of made the author seem a little pretentious because he was like, well, I'm just going to use all the thesaurus words possible. Hopefully you don't mind. But it was a learning experience because, you know, I had to pick up the dictionary, look those words up, and I was able to learn new things. Again, very whimsical, fantastical, and kind of reminiscent of Harry Potter and the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. So, little bit. Number 29. Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. This is the sequel to Beautiful Creatures. I will be reading it in a few days on the 1st of January. So if you guys want to read with me, Sylvia, and Penelope, let me know down below. We don't have like an official thing going on. You could just, you know, tweet me like in the message section on Twitter as you go along, and we can, you know, fangirl together or fanboy. Just fan about it, gush about the book together. And yeah, I can't wait to get to this one. All right, and then the last two books is The Girl of Nightmares by Kendar Blake. This is the sequel to Anna Dressed in Blood. I know you've seen this book several times, like 5 or 6 this year. I still haven't really read it. I think I should start again from the beginning because I think I was on page like 22 or something, and I just couldn't get into it. So I want to, again, start it and actually finish it this time because I did enjoy Anna Dressed in Blood. And the very last book and biggest book on the list is Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. This is the sequel to The Diviners. I started it, as you can see. I do have a bookmark in here. I am on page 86. It's a little bit different than the first one. It's more about dreams and dream walking, and I know I'm going to love it. It's just scary because it's such a chunker. And the first one was a chunker, but it read really quickly. This one is a lot slower. It's not as fast paced, and I haven't seen anything scary happen yet, so I haven't been hooked yet. And that's it. Those are the, 29? 31. I lied. I had 31. 31 sequels or endings to a series that I want to continue or finish in 2016. What are some of yours? Leave me, your list of books that you are anticipating to pick up in 2016, sequel-wise. And I'm sure I will have more in the future. But yeah, let me know down below. Oh, and I never included any of my graphic novels because there's just too many. I would like to continue on with my graphic novels as well, but I didn't want to add it to this list. And that is it. I hope you are having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!